As if guided by some unseen force, the eagle used its powerful beak to beckon the princes towards a particular cave, its entrance shrouded in darkness and mystery. Stealing his resolve, Ikenna dipped the gourd into the water, his hand trembling as he filled it to the brim. With a roar that shook the very foundations of the cave, Odum launched himself towards the princes, his jaws snapping with lethal intent. As they stood before the wall, joy filled their hearts, and in an instant, the wall gradually opened. But before Prince Ikenna could take another step, Prince Obina seized the nearby log, his eyes gleaming with malice as he brought it crashing down upon his brother's unsuspecting head. With a sense of accomplishment, Prince Obina seized the gourd containing the precious water of life and ran out of the forest, and immediately the wall closed behind him. Mbakwe's triumphant horn echoed through the village, signaling the return of Prince Obina. Excitement rippled through the air. The villagers emerged from their huts, their faces alight with curiosity and anticipation as they awaited news of their prince's return. With weary steps, Prince Obina emerged from the forest, the gourd containing the water of life hanging around his neck like a beacon of hope. His shoulders slumped with exhaustion, but his eyes shone with determination as he made his way towards the village. The sight of their beloved prince filled the villagers' hearts with joy, and they rushed forward to greet him, their cheers ringing out like music in the crisp morning air. But amidst the celebration, a shadow of concern flickered in their eyes as they scanned the horizon for Prince Ikenna, their hearts heavy with worry. Unable to find any sign of the second prince, the villagers exchanged anxious glances, but their joyous welcome continued unabated as they escorted Prince Obina to the palace. With each step, their excitement grew, their hopes pinned on the promise of the water of life and the salvation it held for their beloved king. But as they reached the palace gates, a sense of unease settled over the crowd, their minds haunted by the absence of Prince Ikenna. What fate had befallen the courageous prince within the depths of Odumodu Forest? As shouts of joy echoed through the palace halls, Queen Owedia's heart swelled with relief at the sight of her son, Prince Obina, returning home safely. Tears of happiness streamed down her cheeks as she rushed forward to embrace him. Meanwhile, Queen Ego's eyes sparkled with hope as she scanned the crowd searching for her beloved son, Prince Ikenna. But as the moment stretched on and her frantic gaze found no trace of him, a sense of dread crept into her heart. In a voice thick with emotion, she called out to Prince Obina, her words echoing through the palace halls. "Obina, where is your brother Ikenna?" Her voice trembling with fear and anguish as she demanded to know the whereabouts of her beloved son, Ikenna. The palace fell silent, the joyous celebration giving way to a somber pall as Prince Obina stepped forward, tears streaming down his cheeks as he recounted the trials and tribulations of their journey, his voice filled with sorrow as he spoke of his brother's tragic fate. The palace echoed with the sound of mournful wails as the news of Prince Ikenna's death settled over them like a dark cloud. In the midst of the sorrow, Ikenna, the wise herbalist, stood quietly by, his keen eyes watching as Prince Obina spun his tale of lies. But as the prince finished speaking, Ikenna stepped forward, his voice steady and calm as he asked the one question that weighed heavily on everyone's mind. "Did you bring back the water of life?" With a nod, Prince Obina handed over the precious gourd to Ikenna. The herbalist's sigh was laden with sorrow as he accepted the vessel. With the queens, Prince Obina, and chiefs in tow, Ikenna made his way to the king's chambers, his footsteps echoing through the silent halls of the palace. And as they entered the room, a sense of anticipation hung heavy in the air. Their hearts filled with hope as they prepared to administer the life-giving elixir to their beloved king. As the tension in the king's chambers reached a fever pitch, Ikenna's demand for a cup sent a ripple of anticipation through the room. With trembling hands, he poured the contents of the god into the cup, but to everyone's shock and dismay, it was empty. All eyes turned to Prince Obina, their gazes heavy with accusation and disbelief. In a trembling voice, Prince Obina began to weave a web of lies, explaining what he was not even asked, his words stumbling over each other in a desperate attempt to deflect blame. But Ikenna's voice cut him short.
What have you done, Obina?
Ikenna's voice was stern, his eyes blazing with righteous anger.
Where is your brother? The water can only be handled by one with a pure heart, but it seems you have soiled your hands, Prince Obina.
The weight of Ikenna's words bore down on Prince Obina like a heavy burden, his heart sinking with the realization of his betrayal. With trembling lips, he began to recount the events that had led to his brother's demise, his voice choked with remorse and regret. Faced with the undeniable truth of his betrayal, Prince Obina fell to his knees, his heart heavy with remorse as he sought forgiveness for his sins. With tears streaming down his face, he confessed to his heinous act. But as the echoes of his confession faded into the silence, a new wave of despair swept through the chamber. King Udo's condition worsened, his body racking with convulsion. This video is about to take a different twist. Make sure to subscribe just in case you haven't. And if you have done that already, thank you very much. Please stay tuned and go nowhere. Amidst the chaos, another cry pierced the air. The anguished wail of Queen Ego, her heart shattered by the loss of her beloved son. With tears streaming down her face, she summoned the gods, her voice thick with grief and rage, as she ordered them to take Prince Obina away and lock him up in the dungeon. In the midst of the turmoil, a sense of despair settled over the kingdom, their hopes for a miraculous recovery dashed by the darkness that now engulfed them. In the tranquil beauty of the Garden of Life, Prince Ikenna found himself surrounded by a gentle glow of luminous beings, their presence both comforting and bewildering. As he breathed in the scent of the fragrant flowers, a surge of vitality coursed through his veins, dispelling the darkness that had threatened to consume him. As he struggled to make sense of his surroundings, a brilliant light pierced the air, illuminating the garden with its radiant glow. From the heart of the light emerged a figure, its form shrouded in swirling smoke, yet emanating a sense of benevolent power. With a voice that echoed like distant thunder, the figure addressed Prince Ikenna, its words carrying a weight of wisdom and guidance. "Fear not, Prince of Ika," it intoned, its voice resonating with comforting reassurance. "You are in the Garden of Life. Your brother tried to kill you, but your good heart has kept you alive thus far. By your side lies the water of life. Take it and go forth to heal your father. But remember, do not look back as you leave this place, for your path lies straight ahead. With luck, you may yet find your father alive. Go! Go!" With these words, the figure faded back into the light, leaving Prince Ikenna standing in awe amidst the shimmering beauty of the garden. With a sense of purpose burning in his heart, he reached out and grasped the gourd containing the precious water of life. And immediately, Prince Ikenna continued his journey. With each pounding step, Prince Ikenna's heart raced with a mixture of fear and determination. His mind swirled with questions, wondering why his own brother would try to kill him. Yet, amidst the chaos of his thoughts, one singular prayer echoed in his mind: to reach his father's side alive and bring him the cure he so desperately needed. As he ran, a strange buzzing sound erupted from behind him, sending a shiver down his spine. Instinctively, he considered turning back, but the words of the spirit echoed in his mind, urging him to press forward without looking back. With a gulp of determination, he resisted the temptation to glance behind and focused on the path ahead. He didn't know where he was headed, but he knew he had to keep moving. The buzzing sound seemed to grow louder, filling the air with an ominous hum and seemed to chase after him with relentless determination. But Prince Ikenna refused to be deterred, his legs pumping with newfound strength as he raced towards an uncertain destination. Suddenly, before him loomed the imposing wall of thorns, its jagged edges reaching towards the sky like the teeth of a sleeping dragon. Hopeful, Prince Ikenna ran towards the wall, his heart pounding in his chest as he braced himself for what lay beyond. And then, in a moment of surreal wonder, the wall parted before him, inviting him into its depth. Without hesitation, Prince Ikenna plunged forward, disappearing into the unknown as the wall closed behind him. As the loud horn reverberated through the village, confusion and uncertainty gripped the hearts of the villagers. Was it a call to arms or a warning of impending danger? With trepidation, they retreated to the safety of their huts, their minds awash with fear and speculation. But then, amidst the hushed whispers and anxious glances, a cry pierced the air. "Prince Ikenna is alive!" The words hung like a beacon of hope in the darkness, igniting a spark of joy in the hearts of the villagers. Still hesitant to believe the miraculous news, the villagers peered cautiously through the openings in their walls. Yet, as the cry persisted and grew louder, a sense of hope began to blossom within them, urging them to venture forth and witness the truth for themselves. And there, on the distant hills, they saw him, Prince Ikenna, weary but alive, with a gourd wound round his neck. With a collective gasp of disbelief and joy, the villagers surged forward, their feet carrying them towards the hills with a newfound urgency. As Prince Ikenna drew closer, his starred form a testament to the trials he had endured. The villagers enveloped him in a sea of jubilation. They lifted him aloft, their voices rising in triumphant songs as they led him to the village, a procession of hope and celebration that swelled with each passing moment. With every step, more villagers joined the throng, their faces alight with joy as they joined in the chorus of jubilant voices. And as they approached the palace gates, their songs of joy echoed, filling the air with an electrifying energy. On hearing the loud noise, the members of the royal family emerged from the palace, but they were met with a scene of jubilation unlike any they had seen before. Prince Ikenna, once believed to be dead, was now being carried triumphantly on the shoulders of the villagers, his return heralded as a miracle by all who beheld it. Without hesitation, Queen Ego rushed forward to embrace her son, her tears of joy mingling with his own as they reunited after what seemed like an eternity apart. But even in the midst of their reunion, Prince Ikenna's thoughts turned to his father, the true heart of the kingdom. "Is father still alive?" he asked urgently, his voice filled with concern. With a nod from Queen Ego, they hastened to the king's chamber, their hearts pounding with anticipation. Ikenna, the herbalist, received the gourd with a smile, his hand steady as he poured its contents into a cup. And as the shimmering liquid spilled forth, filling the room with its otherworldly glow, hope flickered anew in the hearts of all who watched. With bated breath, they watched as Ikenna raised the king's head and administered the water of life, their eyes fixed on his still form, willing him to awaken. And then, just when it seemed all hope was lost, a miraculous sneeze broke the silence, followed by the king's staring form and the flutter of his eyelids. With a cry of joy, Queen Ego rushed forward to embrace her husband, her heart overflowing with gratitude and relief. And as the news of the king's healing spread throughout the kingdom, a wave of celebration swept through the village, their joy filling the air with its infectious energy. In the end, Prince Ikenna was crowned the rightful heir to the throne of Ika Kingdom, his bravery and selflessness earning him the admiration and respect of the villagers. And as for Prince Obina, he learned the hard way that deceit and betrayal only lead to ruin. He was stripped of his title and banished from the kingdom forever. The moral of this story is clear. Honesty, courage, and selflessness are the true markers of a noble heart. And it is these qualities that ultimately lead to triumph and redemption in the face of adversity. If you enjoyed this story and would like to see more interesting stories on this channel, please consider subscribing, not forgetting to like, share, and drop your thoughts about this story in the comment section. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you once more for tuning into this channel. You can also check out these videos here. I promise you won't be disappointed. Till we meet again in my next video, remain blessed.